I can't wait to come across a planet that truly reminds me. It just turns the game into like a horror game while I'm there. Just scary sounds, scary creatures, dark, dreary. Got a gothic tone to it.
Speaking of horror, I wonder, and this question, I've heard this question asked, or I've seen it on places like Reddit, and I don't think it's ever been answered. Do you get a flashlight in No Man's Sky?
I don't think it's been mentioned either, but I would just assume that you'd have one.
Maybe it's a multi-tool purpose thing, perhaps.
Possibly,
I don't know, but I mean, if you're going to be cave diving and going on the dark side of planets, I mean, you'd think that would be kind of and I've not seen any footage or any screenshots that had anything to the like, but that's kind of a requirement. That's a really big need for something like that.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, we've only seen one planet at night, and that's the Twilight planet that they had during the PSX.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. And there was so much luminescence happening, it wasn't even needed.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need it. But if you notice, he likes, when people are playing the game, he doesn't want to go to the dark side. So maybe that's just something that he doesn't want us to know.
That's true.
All right, I'm going to add Alex to the call. Alex, thank you for coming on Cobra TV. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. So what brings you on Cobra TV tonight?
I just wanted to talk about the social aspect and like what we're gonna see on YouTube in the coming years after No Man's Sky comes out. What kind of videos they're gonna make.
It's gonna be great, man. I can't wait. You look at Minecraft, and I know I said it again, but Minecraft.
Keep going, Cobra. It's okay, man.
It's an indie game, right? And it didn't have a whole lot of support in the beginning, but look at it today. It is all over YouTube, and every video it's interesting to watch, because everybody's building something different. Everybody's crafting something different or modding something different. With No Man's Sky, I see the same thing happening. Everybody's explorations, their adventures, their journeys, they're all going to be different, and people are going to be role-playing. They're actually going to be acting as they're playing the game, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do a thing where it's a let's play, but really thematic, because I feel that's a theme of No Man's Sky, is that everywhere you turn is just amazement, everywhere. So I feel it would be cool to just do a let's play where it's not really talking or anything. It's just the universe set to music, pretty much. Right. Would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be. That's another thing we haven't heard while we're watching the gameplays. We haven't heard too much music. The only music we heard was while they're in the galactic map.
Maybe it's if you get in combat, music gets really crazy, or if you're underwater for a super long time, but they want you to appreciate the noises that the animals make.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll let you guys get back to it.
Okay, bro. Is that all you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to talk to you because you're pretty awesome.
You are too, man. You are too. I wouldn't be awesome if it wasn't for you.
That's a good point. The social aspect is so important, though. That was something I talked about on my last feature. Is that it's going to be huge. I mean, if people are willing to watch some somewhat boring stuff, I mean, Minecraft can be pretty boring to watch.
Yeah.
And this is going to add quite an action and a wonder-filled flavor to streaming, and it's going to be quite interesting. So to your point, I believe it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to have a long life on YouTube for sure.
Yeah. And think about it, before Minecraft really blew up, everybody was just playing it and streaming it on PC. Guess what PlayStation 4 has now? Share button. And everybody is sharing their experiences now. So it's going to be huge.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a good night, man.
See you. You too.
All right. Yeah, No Man's Sky's definitely got a big future on YouTube. I could just... So many channels.
Absolutely, and I think that's kind of the purpose. He's said as much, that the YouTube and the Minecraft generation, that's kind of what he's focusing on. And so, I mean, if you go back to Hazel's presentation that she just had, I didn't actually get a chance to watch it because it isn't anywhere on the internet apparently, but the pictures that they pulled from it seems to show that and just from the footage we saw today, is that it's very difficult to run into a planet that is going to have the same aspect as another planet, or is going to look it's going to look even close to the same as something else.
Right.
I mean, outside of things like green grass and stuff like that, sure, but it's features and stuff. I was really worried about that too. Is like when they talked about procedural generation and planets towards the beginning of this game's sort of advertisement or sort of unveiling, I can't even wrap my head around what they mean by this stuff. But when they put it into action today, and he just kept refreshing that planet over and over, and it kept just coming up with new features and new mountains or new rocks, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So that pretty much convinced me that no planet is ever going to be the same ever.
Yeah, no. I didn't even have that worry, because I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm looking at it like, if you walk around this world, you're going to see green grass everywhere. There's not that much variation, but then again, there is. So when you go to another planet, just like you said, if it has green grass, the mountains are going to be different. The landscapes are going to be different. Even the animals on that planet are going to be different. So it will feel different. Plus, you're not going to be able to discover everything on that first planet you were on. So if you're on a planet that kind of looks similar, it's still going to look new to you, even if it was the same planet. You just didn't realize you did a U-turn.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be excellent. And from the variety they showed today for the alien life was pretty convincing to me too, that's going to be quite, and I was thinking that the way he explained it is I was thinking that they were just taking base models that they already had, and just adding or removing stuff from them to make them different. But apparently that's not the case at all. It's actually literally taking shape. He talked about like a silhouette, like just talk about like this dark outline of an alien, and then it's just blowing it up or contorting it in different ways, and then adding extra doodads to it, like fins or whatever, and then there's your new species. And
not only that,
incredible.
But he talked about how they have their own personality, like their own brain. They acted completely different, even if they looked similar, but they were a different species. They act different. That's
why I'm thinking that this game is totally going to be genre defining, because little guys like indie devs and things like that are going to look at this stuff, and they're going to just know how this is going to benefit them. Things like Megaton Rainfall are already using this stuff.
Yeah,
because I think isn't that a one-man team?
I don't know how many people are on it, but I want to see more of that game. Darn it,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he says, didn't you try to reach out to him at some point? And he said, I can't right now. I'm up to my ankles.
Yeah, but he said maybe sometime at the end of the year. So I got my fingers crossed.
That'd be another good get for you. Congratulations on that interview with the previous indie dev that you spoke to, and reaching their funding.
World, and they actually did get their Kickstarter off the ground. I
saw that. Little help from Hello Games.
Yeah, in the nick of time. I was sitting there watching and like, oh God, come on, let's do it.
I have an argument that retweet or that Hello Games shout out definitely helped.
Oh, for sure.
That's good exposure.
Yes. Oh yeah, it is.
Well, that's incredible stuff. I'm looking forward. I don't know. I know they talked about having an IGN feature for 65 Days of Static and the soundtrack coming up and the sound coming up.
Yep.
So I'm pretty interested in seeing that. I would really like to see a live version of the New Yorker article that went out highlighting the sound.
Yeah.
And you know how they originally did it, where it almost sounded like some guy was screaming in a mic, kind of like the equivalent of a cat climbing your leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then they kind of remixed it. I want to see a live version of that, because especially if it almost sounds like Grant was the one that was doing the screaming.
Yeah. That would
But
be nice to see.
so
Right.
the sound, I hope the sound's going to be wildly different than what it is in the demos they've been showing the last couple of months, though, because it's almost. He did say it was,
Oh yeah, he
and
said
so
it
I'm
was.
feeling better.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to add our
Sure.
last caller to the call here, Matthew. Matthew, thank you for coming on Cobra TV, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. What brings you on Cobra TV tonight?
Just get the chance to finally talk to some fans. All my online buddies have no interest in this game whatsoever.
Isn't that
completely
weird?
alone?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, so many people are split. You know, like you're not a No Man's Sky fan, or you are. And with a group of friends, it seems like you guys like the same games, but all of a sudden you like No Man's Sky and they don't.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's just weird.
I came across it, a couple years ago at one of the E3s or one of the video game award shows, and I was instantly hooked on it. And I keep trying to introduce it to people, and they're just like, no, it doesn't really seem like my type of game. And I'm like, I can respect that, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
This thing's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I just think people don't understand. Like if people are still saying it's just a fly around game or a walk around game, or they keep saying, well,
Exactly.
what am I doing? They've said so many times over and over and over that it's a game. Like there's a goal to the game. You could go to the center.
Right. Yeah, and there's so much that, as we all know, that they haven't uncovered yet. So there's no telling that maybe there is a hint of a storyline. You find some abandoned ruins and, maybe there's something you can discover when you come across just empty ruins on a planet. I mean, I think that might be what I'm looking forward to the most, is just discovering a hidden story that they don't want us to know about until the game is out.
Yeah,
That would
there's
go-
a pretty big background story to No Man's Sky. When
There
Sean
is.
Murray was saying that the Sentinels were placed there by an ancient race and of beings, and that the Sentinels are now self-replicating, and that there's a reason
Mhm.
why they're a bit crazy or a bit
Right.
overacting. And it's just hearing that tells me that there's a lot to find out about the lore inside No Man's Sky, and I'm really excited to figure out how they're going to teach us.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That's the good part. Like if you've ever played Dark Souls, you'll know that just it tells you no story whatsoever, but the world is so lived in and everything is so detailed that you can just look at things and interpret the story for yourself. The game tells you the story just by visuals or reading.
Exactly.
And that's such a great thing. And it's it comes in layers too. You understand it to the level that you want to and be satisfied with it or not.
Yep.
And it's just there for you to interpret and take away what you want.
It's almost like one of those old text adventure games where it's so real, even though you're just reading lines on a computer screen and you're just going through, and it's just in your mind. It's real, so you can create your own story. They don't need to spell it out for you, and that's what I love. Too many games today, they just hold your hand from start to finish and walk you through it, and everybody's experience is exactly the same. I don't want that. I want my own experience that's completely different from everybody else's.
Oh yeah.
That's a
So-
great answer.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you feel about like the role-playing aspect, where some people, they are talking about how they're going to say, all right, you know what, I am Han Solo, so I'm going to play the game like Han Solo, and I'm going to be Han Solo, and that's my story.
I think that would be a great idea for particular channels, like YouTube channels and things like that. They would be very interesting to watch. I'd probably watch, if it was Han Solo's channel, I'd watch that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
As for myself, I'm just gonna play it as me, and how more in a realistic manner. Like, okay, like one of the things that I want to do more than anything is to actually go out into the universe and just explore everything and anything I can. But unfortunately, that's not going to be possible. So this game is going to be the closest thing I can get to that. So that's what I want to do, is if just when I wake up, if I want to explore this planet, I'm gonna. If I want to go out in space battle, I'm going to.
Right.
It's just that open chance. But I would love to see a role-playing aspect. I think that would be a great addition to this already amazing game.
Yeah, I keep thinking to myself, when I'm in a solar system, if I land on a planet, I'm gonna want to, explore as much of it as I can. But then I think to myself, I'm probably more likely going to be like a kid in a candy store. Like, wow, this planet looks cool. Look at that one in Horizon. Fly out, go to it. Like, wow, look at that one over there. Fly out and go to it. Just not being able to make up my mind where I want to explore.
Exactly. Until the novelty wears off. After like a month, I'll be like, okay, now let's calm down. Let's settle down on one planet
Time
for a
to
while.
get busy and actually play the game. Yeah.
Exactly. The first few weeks, I'm just going to be all over the place. And I'm like, you know what? That was a cool planet I saw 2 weeks ago. Now I got to go all the way back and find that one again.
Yep. So what's your ideal planet? Like that, everyone's got one that they can't wait to see. Like in their mind, their imagination, they got that planet they can't wait to find.
Though I'd have to say, if I had to pick one, which I want to experience all of them. Like I want to find one that's just complete ice, like a Hoth planet. I want to find just a desert, just to see if there is actually anything there. Right. But I think my ideal planet would be the 5th one that they showed in the 5 random planets when they're walking through the cave, and then they come up at the very end, and he looks up out of the cave entrance or exit or whatever it is. And you just see those beautiful creatures flying through the air. They've got the planet on the horizon, the sun and the clouds in the sky. And it was just the most beautiful, true to sci-fi picture that you could possibly paint. And I think exploring a planet like that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't believe that green glow floating through the air.
Exactly. It was so thick in the atmosphere. And it's like, wow. Yeah. How the hell did they create this?
You're right, man.
I'm really hoping for a release date at the end of the month. I mean, with IGN doing a whole month-long coverage, I'd like to think that maybe they wouldn't be like, okay, here's a whole month and nothing. I'd like to think that if it's close enough for them to be doing an entire month-long coverage, that maybe it's around the corner. I mean, Sean said it was really soon, and I think a month and a half after E3 is really soon. I think 6 months out would be, not soon.
Right. You got a point. Have any games ever released a release date on IGN First?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a couple, I believe. I can't remember exactly which ones there were, but there were 1 or 2 at least that announced release dates on IGN First. That's how I read it.
I guess you could see I'm not an IGN fan because this is the first time I've ever heard of IGN First.
They've been doing it for a while, actually. It's typically, it's just like you said, it's like we talked about earlier. It's typically a vehicle to get information out there about the game. The first one that I remember watching was Advanced Warfare. I think they've been doing more prior to that. Gosh, now you got me curious.
Yeah, I came across IGN just, recently, just from No Man's Sky, going across, and they actually have a lot of coverage for a lot of other things too, not just video games. And I was surprised at just how broad of a range they covered. They seem to do a decent job covering things. A lot of people say, "Oh, IGN's not a huge name in the industry, and they wouldn't give us a release date for IGN and not do it at E3 when that's a bigger audience," which I can understand. But I mean, who knows? Nobody knows. So I don't know why it's stuck in my head that maybe hold off just a little bit longer, get the game a little more finished, and then work out a deal with them just to be able to wrap it up in a nice little package for us.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm trying to find an IGN First sort of feature site, and I'm running into some trouble with it. Where are you?
So, Matthew, you're going to be an explorer then. That's how you're going to play the game.
Oh, yeah. Explorer. But I want to try and dabble in everything. I want to, space combat. I'm going to try mining. But my biggest priority is definitely exploration. I want to see all the animals I can and just explore. Just go as deep as I can.
Yeah.
Into the planets and just to see what's there. Because, I mean, you don't know.
It amazes me, too, like, with the cave networks, how are we going to know where to start
exactly
blowing up? And we might sit there and waste all of our plasma on a hole that doesn't lead anywhere. You're
Right.
Like, just well, there's a cave now.
Exactly. Or how far deep into a cave that's like never ending until you say, okay, I have to turn around. But you can't turn around because it's like, there's still more. What if I miss something?
Yeah, or what if you can't turn around because you're completely lost? You have to blow your way out.
Right, exactly. Or you blow yourself in. You pull a wall down and cave yourself in. I don't even know if that's possible, but I'm going to try it.
God. The YouTube videos are just going to be amazing when this game releases, I swear.
It's going to be a toss-up between, do I play myself or do I catch up on all these thousands of YouTube videos? I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
Thank God I have two screens. I can do both at the same time.
Yeah. Or, me and Bookshelf talk about this a lot, how Sean Murray said when we start up on our own planet, he can't guarantee whether you're going to have a good start or a bad start. And I think that's pretty cool. Bookshelf Gaming, who I usually have as co-host, he may start on a planet that's like all these beautiful flowers with frolicking creatures that are cute and cuddly, and I might be on this dangerous
just
planet
shit.
Nothing. Just nothing. It's a
fire up
planet.
The game for the first time and you're like, well, this is just nothing. this was well worth the wait.
I didn't even get a ship.
Yeah. Imagine if Sean Murray got a hold of my PSN, as many times as I put it out there and said, well, I'm going to make this guy have a bad start.
It'd be really cool if they have like a Cobra Easter egg.
That would be cool.
That would be interesting. Like you roll up on a planet or like a space station or something, and it's like Cobra Space Station.
Yeah, someone spray printed graffiti on the side of it saying Cobra.
That would be cool.
3 big red X's,
Yeah. But speaking of
or you
Easter
start
eggs,
out and there's... Oh,
no, go ahead, buddy. Go on.
no, I was just going back to your empty planet, just a big Sean Murray godlike thing in the sky doing the old Jurassic Park. You didn't say the magic word.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Easter eggs, like if a procedural system's making this, it's going to accidentally create Easter eggs. Like he said, you can come across space stations that look like the Death Star.
Oh.
So I wonder how many times, we're going to come across something that looks completely like something out of a movie or a book, and that's your Easter egg. I don't think Sean Murray would actually hand place Easter eggs anywhere in the game, but I think the way the procedural system's designed, I think we're going to come across a bunch of accidental Easter eggs.
I can live with that.
Oh yeah.
I'd be more than okay with that. We all just team up and just do a trench run on a Death Star somewhere.
Yeah. Come across a space station that's in a circle, and you're like, oh man, that's not a moon.
It's gotta die.
That's not a moon. Start shooting it.
Use the targeting computer, Cobra.
Yeah.
He's turned off his targeting computer. Cobra's like, I got this.
He's got the force.
Use the force, Luke.
I'm so ready for this game. I played Arkham Knight. That was my other big one for the year, and no other game is even getting me excited at all. Maybe Battlefront a little bit, but that one's kind of... that's going to be a good another first person to replace Battlefield 4, but it's not space battles. I want the universe.
Yeah,
the universe is not enough.
Yeah, Battlefront's going to be my guilty pleasure. It's my Twitch shooter, guilty pleasure, to where, I just go around and just shoot people. And it's going to be so much fun because I grew up with Star Wars, from a little kid watching the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And now, for the first time, we get a really good game done by a really great development team that's going to make you feel like you were really, truly in those battle scenes that we used to see. Now, I like the old Battlefront games, but this one takes the cake.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the old Battlefronts were great for their time, and this is a new generation, new console, and DICE is for the series. It's a new developer, and they have a great record. I mean, not great with Battlefield 4 launch because that was kind of broken, but I mean, the game is still beautiful, and Battlefront itself is going to be amazing. Just to be able to step into the shoes of an Imperial Stormtrooper
Yes.
or a Rebel is
Yeah.
just going to be amazing.
I can't wait, dude. I just can't wait.
I think to your point too, when it comes to space battles, I'm willing to put my money down on the idea of DLC.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, EA Sports is top of the list for loving DLC, so that's absolutely a possibility. And when they announced no space battles, I was like, well, that sucks.
But you see, I'm such a sucker for Star Wars. I don't care. I'm going to be the guy that pays for everything.
Take my money.
Oh
Yeah. But the
Yep,
same thing goes for No Man's Sky. Like, if they come out with this special edition, which I think that they're going to, because they mentioned a companion book hopefully being edited by the creator for The Watchmen. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a physical release and maybe a special edition. But if they do have a special edition, I'm going to be that guy that will lay down a couple $100.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Cobra's in it.
I'm in it.
I'd love a book of concept art, like all the concept art that they've done for this game. I'd love just one of those hard copy glossy prints
Ooh,
of just as many as they'd give us.
Oh yeah.
stop it! I'm trying to save up money. Like, that sounds really good to me. Like a really cool statue of the Atlas or something. That would be pretty
Oh
neat.
yeah.
Ooh, your little statue of the Atlas, or I'd even like it if what is it? Diamond Collectibles. I can't remember the name of the company that makes the Star Trek collectible ships. Really, really good, like $60, $70 Star Trek ships. So they came out with like all kinds of different, pretty generic, No Man's Sky ship replicas. I'd buy all of them.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too.
I'm
Yeah,
a collectible nut, and I haven't, on a completely side note, I haven't heard if when the game releases on PC, if for flight mode it will be HOTAS compatible, for a throttle and stick for when you're flying through space. Because that's going to be what decides if I get it on PC or PS4. Because if it's on PC and it's HOTAS compatible, then I'm going to get it on PC.
Yeah, that'd be.
That's actually a good concern to have, because if we talked earlier about Sean wanting to support the mod community, and I think it's a great thing. If you open No Man's Sky up to workshop support for Steam, that would be the best thing ever. If you look at what it's done for games like Skyrim, it's easy to use. Man, I could just imagine seeing some of the mods that people will be doing for No Man's Sky.
It's amazing. I can't wait to see it.
I know
All right,
that feeling.
Thank you so much for coming on Cobra TV, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, Legacy, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Dude, thank you so much for helping me tonight. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime, Cobra, you just turn the legacy signal on and I will be there.
The legacy signal.
I just came out of that came out of nowhere.
It's awesome, dude. I will put
The
on
legacy.
the legacy signal when I need you. All right, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Sounds great. Y'all have a great night.
Okay, you too.